Hi, it's Krishta Abruzzini with KNAC.com, and I'm here with Michael Lardie from Great White.
Hey, how are you?
Doing well, doing well.
It's always great to see you at NAMM, but most especially when you're doing your video interviews. I love doing these.
Right? I love it too. It's kind of different being on this side of the camera, but
That's true. Usually it's, out on the floor, it's kind of like we're, flying, like we're camping almost, but this is, a little more organized,
So what's happening?
We actually have had a couple of months off. Right before Christmas, we shut it down for the year, and the next show out is February 20th in Las Vegas. And after that, we get on a plane and immediately fly to Miami to jump on the East Coast cruise, the Monsters of Rock. We're going to do an acoustic performance on Monster Island, and then we're also going to have about half the show be asking different singers from different bands come up and guest sing with us. So it's going to be a fun kind of like hour and a half, 2 hour show.
Who's coming up?
So far, I got Janet from Vixen to come up. I know Brandon Gibbs from the band with I think it's with Tracy Guns and Ricky Rocket. I know he's down. I'm trying to get Jeff Keith, maybe the guys from Europe, maybe Joey. It's kind of like it's supposed to. The whole thing about it is supposed to be fun, So it's whomever is kind of in the idea that they want to come and do this and really sit on the beach, and then right after that I think they're doing some kind of Zeppelin tribute. Again, I'm not a Bonzo Bash, but something like that. So it's going to be 3 or 4 hours of music on the beach, and it's a great atmosphere.
And you guys have a few dates already lined up for the year. You guys were really busy last year, kind of looking forward to that this year again.
Yeah, it's a time of year where you get a lot of calls from your agent saying, "Hey, I got this show. These are the deal points. Do you want to do it?" And you look over everything and you say, "Okay, yeah, that's going to make sense because we could maybe do a routing date here and there." And you start to see how your year ends up building up. And already we've got shows in September and October of next year. We're doing also the West Coast Cruise. We've got a show in Lodi at the Great Festival. Yeah, be NoCal kids, we know this.
Isn't there a Creedence song about Lodi?
I think there is. And I don't want to be stuck in Lodi again, but I do want to play this show.
That's by Galt.
Yes, right between Galt and Stockton. We know our Northern California corridor.
That is true. You guys just did a rockumentary also?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to call it. This company, Rock Fuel Media, did a show. They filmed professionally with, like a 30-camera shoot, GoPros, everything, and then they came in with an audio truck and recorded it in Pro Tools. The 4 bands. It was us, Skid Row, Extreme, and Twisted Sister at the Joint in Las Vegas. And the night of the show was called Metal Meltdown, but I don't know if that's the final word they're going to use to promote it, whether it's going to be that or rock show, I'm not sure, whatever it's going to be called. But it's a process because I'm learning so much about not only just performing at the show, but I've mixed our audio. I've helped with the surround mix of Twisted Sister already, and I'm starting to help put into the video some of the interview audio to match up with the footage that was shot. So it's really been a great time for me. Whenever the band has had time off, I haven't, because that's not really how I roll. I like to work, not unlike yourself. It's been a great education for me this year to learn that part of the video world that I wasn't really as adept at as I would be with audio, since I've been an engineer since 1979. So it's like something new to learn. Isn't that the challenge of life? You just keep pushing yourself to do better and to do more and to learn more, and it just allows you to stay in the industry, even when if our bones ever get too tired to rock. I got something that I'll love to do. Yeah, I don't see that happening anytime soon. Okay.
So when does that come out? Do you know?
They're starting to finish the shows off. I think it's next week we're starting on ours. What they've done is, what I'm learning is they've they actually kind of like soft edit everything and put it into like scene form as to how they want the story to go. And then the guy that's kind of he's the director and the lead editor on the project. He goes in and does all his little magic tweaks. It's not unlike, having an effect on a guitar, when you mixing it. That makes it slick and cool to look at and watch and stuff. So that's the process that we're about to start going through for our particular episode. And I know that eventually it's going to be a theatrical release with all bands, 5 or 6 songs each, a little bit of doc footage from each band. And so I'll be able to go to the movie theater and actually see us perform on a big movie screen. Our movie screen's big anymore. I never know.
They're pretty big.
I don't know if it'll be IMAX, but something bigger than the TV in my bedroom is probably big.
So are they telling your story then, or what is the?
Actually, they're hoping to sell that to one of the networks as kind of a almost Sonic Highways kind of thing, episodic in that each band has its own story to tell and history. Other people that are in the documentary talking about you and their experiences with you. That's part of the documentary footage that goes on. So we got a great story to tell. It's pretty interesting, considering we've been with 5 major labels, been counted out many times, and certainly after the tragedy in Rhode Island happened, which I can very happy to say myself, Audie and Terry and Scott were not at. That we still can do what we do. It's amazing to me, that people embrace us like they do after 30 years. So it's a pretty intense story, and when they see it all together, they'll start to realize, wow, those guys have kept it going because they believed.
Do you have any projects of your own coming up?
I keep working so much on this documentary, and I'm learning to do that. And I know they're talking about having me maybe do some scoring for some TV and movies, So I'm not going to become Danny Elfman tomorrow, I can assure you, because he's a genius, madman. But, it's a way for me to get into that part of it. So I'm really thrilled and excited about that.
How about your solo music?
Still tweaking on that. It's like that kind of thing where you want to put it out and you go, wait a minute, I just wrote a song that kicks that one's butt. Okay, that's out of here. The new song's in there. So at some point, it's like a child. I guess you just got to let it go to college, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, the 2016 NAMM show, what have you gotten out of this?
I've been had a great time being able to talk to a lot of the pro audio people, with the equipment that I work with, Apogee, Universal Audio, Neumann. These are all tools of my particular trade in the studio. So everybody's been very helpful, and it's kind of that circular thing where you use the equipment, but then they can use your celebrity for helping their cause, to get the word out to people. So to me, that's what it's kind of like a networking thing. It's hard. I get to hang out with you because we've been friends such a long time, and it's great. And now I'm not on the floor and when everybody's coming up to you, it's weird to me because we would come at these at like 1990. And back then, the general public, it was really unusual that the general public would be at the shows. So that's something that we've had, as artists, haven't had to got used to over the years. That's part of the process. Going through and talking to our endorsers or people we want to be endorsed by, but also it's like exciting for the fans and stuff too. So it's a different 2016. Fast forward to that, it's different than it was in 1990.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. If you don't have the fans, you don't have the career. And I say that loudly every single time I do an interview. It's really the truth. Without them staying with you, buying the records, coming to the shows, there is, the purpose that you have as a musician to play, that's your passion. But in order to make a living, you have to have a fan base.
Or make movies.
Oh yeah, it depends what kind of movies though.
Yeah, there's that. We won't go down that road.
Well, not this time.
Well, Michael, thank you so much for coming out and visiting with me, and
Always awesome. Always awesome interview with you.
always, I love you. Krishta Abruzzini, KNAC.com, signing off. Hi, it's Krishta Abruzzini with KNAC.com, and I'm here with Herman Lee of Dragon Force.